Ms. Connie, what are your thoughts on the recent meeting between President Trump and the President of South Africa?
I thought it was awesome. Thank you, Jesus, that we have a president that is willing to confront evil. Evil. Because what's happening in South Africa is evil. And he only covered the genocide of white farmers. Now, every place in Africa where white farmers were slaughtered, it left the nation in starvation. In fact, some of these countries they're so rich with great vegetation. There is no reason why these countries are not feeding the world. They've got the natural resources to do so. But if you don't know how to farm, you're not going to get anything out of the ground. And so it was white Europeans who came into Africa and began to subdue the land. That's the commandment of God in the book of Genesis. God gave us a command to subdue the land and to plant and to bear fruit. And that's what they've been doing for centuries. The thought that they stole the land from, yes, there were atrocities. There were atrocities when armies came in and conquered different countries because they had gold or other minerals or expensive things that we want. But the fact is, if you're not going to mine the gold and you're not going to do the work to farm the land, then let us do it because we can feed you. And so for centuries, Africa has been fed primarily in nations that had good government by the white farmers. Every nation where that was where the farmers were killed, slaughtered, they're starving. They don't have food. I was in Uganda when Idi Amin, at 10 years after Idi Amin had slaughtered the white people, and not just the white people, all of the blacks who lived like the white people. They had educations, they were engineers, they were people who could serve the nation. And when they were slaughtered by the Muslim terrorists under Idi Amin, it was left in a mess. And what used to look like paradise in Hawaii was a disaster. We were there. It was awful. It was terrible. It was terrible. It was terrible. And that's really what happens in every country that you have a wicked dictator or wicked government, and they take advantage of the people. So what's happening in South Africa is, yes, the white farmers are being slaughtered. They're not just being slaughtered. They're being raped, tortured, and slaughtered. And then are the people who are confiscating the land actually farming? No, because they don't know how to farm. Number one. Number two, they're not farmers. They're murderers. They are terrorists. So thank God for President Trump for speaking the truth to this man who's I'm sorry, he's a liar. He knows exactly what's going on and he's promoting it. He signed the law that allows for the confiscating of land. How do you do that? And he's not pursuing the murderers. He's not pursuing the terrorists. In fact, it's being encouraged, as we saw in the videos. So I've known about a lot of this for several years, and I'm so glad that President Trump put it out there for the world to see, because our mainstream media liars are never going to share the truth. So thank God for President Trump. Once again, he is not afraid to confront evil. Thank you, God, for President Trump.